Crybaby McGuire is the penultimate episode of Fat Actress, and as I said in the previous discussion, I'm going to be quite sad when this is over, as now that it's finally kind of found its groove, it's really very enjoyable. This episode is not my favourite, but I thought it was still pretty good. It's directed, of course, by Keith Truesdell, aired originally in 2005, and Kirstie gets set up by Merv Griffin with one of his friends, and this is John McGuire, played by Bill Smitrovich, and he's a billionaire, and he's, kind of conventionally attractive and seems to be exactly what Kirstie's looking for. But she very quickly realizes that he's an incredibly emotional person, and we're not just talking wearing his heart on his sleeve, we're talking emotionally fragile. And to give an example, he's making pancakes, there's no baking soda, he completely breaks down crying over this. But what's quite interesting is that as soon as somebody finds a way to resolve the problem, such as going to the shop to get baking soda, he's as happy as Larry. And he's very emotionally unstable, and Kirstie doesn't know what to do because he's a billionaire, and he's giving her these really expensive gifts, which, to her credit, she tries to not accept, but at the same time, he's very emotionally unstable. And things seem to intensify as the episode goes on. And part of me was thinking, as I've already established with this show, it's not very PC. I think some people, if you're easily offended by things, there will definitely be things in pretty much every episode that are offensive. Personally, none of these things bother me. I like quite dark comedy. I don't get offended by comedy ever, really. But definitely it does seem like they're making fun of somebody with emotional problems, and I'm speaking as somebody with severe emotional instability. But there is one bit that completely turns that around, and it's when Kirstie begins to theorise that because McGuire is widowed, and he never allowed himself to properly process grief and to go through the emotions that come with, losing your wife or your partner. So this is him kind of having small outbursts of that intense negative emotion that he has locked away. And just by including those few lines, they don't dwell on it for too long, but just by incorporating that brief theory, it completely turns everything around and says, well, actually, if there is somebody like this, yeah, we're going to make fun of them in this show because it's a comedy show, but in real life, if somebody is like this, it could be because of suppressed emotions or something like that. And I think that just definitely makes a huge, huge difference. I really enjoyed it. As I said, it's not my favourite, but it was good fun. I think it's the first time I've seen Kirstie Alley on a horse since It Takes Two, which is one of my all-time favourite films ever, and certainly my favourite Kirstie Alley film. So that just brought back a happy memory for me. But yeah, it's nice. I enjoyed it. Not my favourite episode, but still pretty good. I'll be sad when I've made it to the last episode.